Go to Nations has been training missionaries since the late 80s. In the beginning, there were just a group of men who had a call on their life, and they went and they did what God called them to do. But more and more, God was sending people with a genuine call to missions, and they needed training. They needed equipping to know what it was they were going to be doing. So we've been training missionaries for well over 25 years. I can tell you in the last 12 years, we have devoted an enormous amount of time and energy among our senior leadership. Why are we successful? Why are we still here? We identified like 7 traits that made us successful, that we all could identify. We all carried those 7 things. And so we began to strategically implement training into what we call our equipping track that would hit each of those 7 areas. And they dealt with anything from being adequately funded to how to have a healthy marriage, how to effectively build team, and the list went on. We started out putting those into the training that we start out with right here at our world headquarters. And that is called Missionary Preparation and Orientation. The goal when someone comes to 6 days of training at the MPO is basically to validate their calling. Are they really called to go? Is this something that they are prepared and it's time for them to go? We work in partnership with their local church in solidifying and clarifying that for them before they leave. Second is we give them a basic A to Z orientation of what they need to know to get started. And then third, we give them tools and resources that they take with them to continue their journey in being equipped. When they leave these 6 days, they immediately sign up with a ministry called Kingdom Come Training. They sign up from their home. They have 3 weeks of online fundraising training. It's an hour and a half a day, Monday through Thursday. And then after that, they're followed up every month with mentoring that's provided through Kingdom Come Training.
He has no way of getting across your threshold without that relationship.
And they stay with them the whole track until they've raised their funds. The second phase of our equipping track is our Timothy internship program, and that's one of our favorites. We have put an enormous amount of time into developing this. It's 10.5 weeks. Our 3 Timothy internship programs are offered in Latin America, in Honduras, in Thailand for Asia Pacific, and Burkina Faso for West Africa. The internship, it provides an opportunity for people to genuinely test their calling. Some people have a genuine call to missions, but not necessarily to go and live overseas. So in 10.5 weeks, it's a short-term commitment. They can go and they can live as though they're a missionary while receiving hands-on classroom training, practical application out in the fields, inner city, or whether it's out in the country, villages, squatter villages, wherever our ministry is taking place.
We're in Africa, and Abby's making some chocolate milk for the team. This is African style.
When interns arrive on the field, they're so excited, they're ready to live their dream. But about 2-3 weeks into it, they realize, oh my goodness, this is a real challenge. It is probably the most difficult thing that most of them have ever had to encounter in their whole lives.
Sarah, do you like being a missionary in the jungle?
Everything that's inside of you is going to come out. You're hot, you're tired, you're stressed.
It took a couple hours to get here in the vehicle, and we're on horseback for about 2.5 hours, but we're getting pretty close.
There's inevitably people on your team that have the exact opposite personality of you that are going to push your buttons. And so we love that, not because we want to put people under pressure, but because we want to see them grow. And when we're under the greatest pressure, we have the greatest opportunity for breakthroughs. They're able to test their calling, but on top of that, when they leave there, they're going to have skill sets that they will take with them for the rest of their lives.
It's the best. I'm learning a lot, and I can't wait to learn more.
They take skill sets back, how to work with people, how to be a disciple in order to make disciples, how to be a team, how to go in and survey a village and find out what their needs really are, so that we don't actually do more damage than we do good when we go in to help them. So we go and we interview the people, and they learn how to put together an entire proposal of what it would look like in 5 years if we work in partnership with that village to help bring change. Most of the internships, we have an opportunity to build something or to participate in a relief project. They're going to be learning more and more how to do sustainable microfarms, because it's not enough to give a man a fish, we got to teach him how to fish.
That's the way to catch the fish.
Our interns learn how to transform that village through improving their quality of life through either fresh water, learning how to prepare their food with sanitation, medical clinics, how to do triage, how to assess if someone is about to die and they need emergency, get them some help.
Each and every person inside the church here is going to be getting one of these bags of beans and rice.
They use these platforms so that people actually are able to come to the Lord while they're meeting felt needs. And while they're there, we have missionaries that are trained, veteran, skilled, trained missionary staff that are walking them through this process. They give them the coaching skills that they need to be able to overcome the greatest challenges of their life, and they leave there changed, and they've been a part of changing a nation. At the end of the internship, they get our recommendations and what are the next steps. What it is that God is saying to them and that they've been destined to do that's in their heart to do. And so then we map out a plan for them, where they're going to go and what that's going to look like. Following these two phases of the missionary equipping track, they would go to a field location where Go to Nations has an experienced veteran missionary who's called to do the same thing that that missionary intern is called to do. And they would go there and they would live for 2 years apprenticing under a veteran missionary. The end goal of this equipping track is to produce solid, whole missionaries and missionary families who understand their calling. They value people, they value the harvest, and they feel equipped to do what it is that God has called them to do so that they can do it long term and with great success.